Hi, everybody. My name is Zach Canner, and this is the first episode of Why God Why. Thank you so much for joining me. So, this is a new podcast that I'm starting, and I'm going to be honest, I misdialed a phone number recently, and I accidentally called God.
Hello.
And this is God. We've been chatting recently, and I said that I would give out your phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you didn't want that to happen.
Well, at first I said that's blackmail, which you were very clear about.
It's technically blackmail.
Sure. So, I don't want to talk to people in general because the conversations are always the same. They're always super depressing. Everyone's unloading a lot of their pain and strife on me. So I was like, look, I will talk to people one at a time. And he's like, can we do another podcast? So I said yes. So here I am, gun to my head, talking to the human beings of the world. That's you. Here to answer your questions about existence.
You know, I'm real honored that you chose to speak with me, blackmail or not.
Right. Great.
I don't really know where to begin.
Sure.
I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, if that's okay. I mean, I grew up pretty Christian, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, I remember.
Baptist. I mean, you saw all that.
Yeah.
All the stuff that happened.
Uh-huh.
I got baptized twice. This is real. That's a real fact.
Unnecessary.
But I'll tell you why I did.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I was 11, and it's a sign to all the other people in the church that you are now part of the church, and apparently that is the magic sauce.
Sounds exhausting.
You get dunked. So I did, and I did a little testimonial in front of everybody being like, I can't wait to give my heart to Jesus. I mean, you've seen this a lot, probably.
Well, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Do you really think that when I went and made the world, I went and made up all these bizarro rituals of like, you come to accept me by dunking your head underwater? I mean,
you think that when I was 11 I was questioning that? I didn't know.
I mean, I would hope so. Okay, here's something I have a problem with. There's that wafer they give, the it's not bread. It's some sort of like, solid paste.
It's a cracker somehow.
It's not even a cracker. Crackers are delicious.
I don't know if it's a
crumble
rice
the cracker, put it over soup.
Should we be giving out crackers?
I mean, I would. It's an improvement. There are delicious flavored Triscuits out there.
I guess the point that maybe I'm stepping on is the Eucharist, like, is it your body?
No.
Literally.
No. It's a wafer. Also, follow-up question. Mm-hmm. This is what I want people to do some critical thinking. Why would I want you to eat my body? That's sick. Okay? This is my problem with a lot of religions is they come up with these things and no one ever stops and goes, "Oh man, how twisted is that?" What kind of creator is like, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make people, and then every week on Sunday, I'm going to make them eat my body." That's some sociopathic bullshit.
And I'm actually glad that we agree on this.
Sure.
It wasn't so much that it sounded sick to me. It was that it sounded overly arrogant.
Oh, totally.
So you are the real God.
I am the omnipotent creator. I mean, I call myself God so that it makes more sense to you people. I say different things when I'm talking to ducks. They have a different feeling about me. And
do they worship?
No. They just go about their lives like I was hoping human beings would.
But we don't. We're questioning constantly.
Oh, all the time. Look, I made human beings to be smart because I wanted them to do new stuff, innovate. Well, you all know because you're all trying to create AI right now.
Yeah.
Sort of like that.
That's a big thing.
You
for
want
us.
something that's going to be intuitively creating new things so that...
Well, so that we don't have to.
Exactly.
I think that we're creating things to be able to create as we think you created us to create.
Right. So here's what... Spoiler alert. All of your concerns about making AI, absolutely true. I made human beings and they went on their own rampage. You better believe your robot lords are going to go on their own rampage.
So
and then that's just a sort of... Then they're like my grandkids.
Would you still love them as you love humans?
Man, love is a strong word.
Do you not love humans?
I mean, I do. I also love all of my creatures' existence. I will say I have a conflicting relationship with creations because a lot of my creations kill other creations, so It's a complicated relationship.
But
Let's say you had a son who murdered your other son. Now, would you love that first son that murdered the other son? Sure, they're yours. You made them.
it would be
Do
complicated.
you, like, love them? Like, you want to get them good gifts for their birthday? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
probably want to try and forgive them.
Yeah, it gets complicated. Oh, God, there's a lot of forgiveness.
Uh-huh.
Most of my life is me forgiving people and things for doing horrible things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Really quick, I just wanted to touch on this just so you know where I'm coming from too,
Sure.
because we only had the quick phone call.
Yeah.
But I mentioned that I got baptized twice, right? Mm-hmm. So first time out of obligation, second time was out of fear. I was at like a hellfire and brimstone like church camp
Yeah, that's
type
scary.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
During the daytime, we'd do like activities, right? We'd go rappelling.
Yeah.
And then at the nighttime, it would just be like this is why you guys are going to hell. All of you 12 to 14-year-olds.
God, man, it's dark.
And now I'm terrified I'm going to hell. Mm-hmm. So I get baptized again.
Yeah.
Was I justified in doing that again?
Oh my
like,
God,
I
not
was
at
so
all.
scared at going to hell.
No, there's no hell.
What? I just thought that was...
No, man. This all comes around human beings thinking that they're so special, and if they do something wrong, how sick is that? If you do one thing wrong in your whole life, I'm gonna torture you for eternity, for all time, watching you suffer endlessly over and over again.
Well, you made that... I mean, the idea was that you made the
I
hell.
didn't. Nope.
Well, this is the idea. It's
Sure.
that you know, theoretically you made the hell, but then you sent your son, Jesus Christ, for us to use him for... He was the sacrifice for us
Look,
to be
here's
forgiven.
what I'll tell you about people in their religion. Everybody makes everything so complicated. And more importantly, they mourn so much. Oh my God, it's exhausting. When I first made people, I was like, isn't this neat? Look around. That tree's got leaves on it. That's cool. It changes colors.
Super cool.
Look at that. That's a bunny rabbit. Hops around. It's adorable.
Yeah.
That's neat. Look at that.
Yeah.
I thought when I created existence, it'd be more of that.
More
you
of
know-
us appreciating the things that are around that populate the earth.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's so much.
I mean, it's great. Like, it's all really great.
Yeah.
But I think that we're, like, a lot of us are afraid, too, of, you know, maybe punishment in the next world, or maybe that we're just not doing right.
I will say, human beings, they are the emo kids of all my creations. Oh my God, do they feel so much?
I know what you're saying. It's
Is everything so dark and morose?
It's a little harsh. I think we need a little bit, you know, more credit than that. Look, this could be you and me going back and forth all day.
Sure.
I have an endless amount of questions, but like I said, and like you promised, you are willing to talk to human beings one at a time,
One at a time.
which is fantastic
Yeah.
and really generous of you, might I add. So to that end, we have our very first guest on
Yeah.
Why God Why. This is a wonderful friend of mine. His name is Milo Shearer.
Hey everybody. Hey Zach. Hey God.
Hi, Milo.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: is there something that you know? Maybe it's from the Bible, maybe it's not. But is there a rule that is one of your favorites, whether or not you handed it down to us or not? Is there a rule that you're like, this is my jam? I really like people living their life by this tenet.
I will tell you, I had one main rule, which I thought would be a blanket rule amongst all of them. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what that means.
Is that the golden rule?
Well, that's the whole do unto others. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty close. I like
Yeah.
that phrasing of it. But the reason why I say don't be a dick is it applies to everything. So it's like, should you just kill a guy for no reason? No, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Should you steal his stuff? No. That'd be a dick thing to do. If you're a dick, people will recognize that you're a dick.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I would tell you. Human beings being the adaptable wonder creatures that they are, somebody can be a dick to you multiple times. You'll still invite them to your birthday party.
Yeah, a lot of dicks go really far away.
They do.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
So-
not on me.
Just listening to this conversation so far, I really feel like a lot of stuff is not on you. I mean, and you know, like obviously as basically like the dad of all of existence, I definitely want to blame everything on you.
Sure.
But you know, and you say we have free will, but then we have these moments like Moses is talking to Pharaoh and he's like, "Hey, let my people go," and Pharaoh's like, "Yeah, maybe I think I will," And then our records say that you
Yeah.
interceded and you turned Pharaoh's heart and you were like, no, you don't want to. Did you do that? Was that a you thing?
No.
So Pharaoh was just being a dick and we were explaining it, but like you came down because like we definitely pinned that on you.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about the whole Pharaoh and Moses thing. I definitely turned the river red with blood. It was more of an artistic interpretation of what was happening right now that I thought would be a fascinating message.
You were trying to.
I was making a metaphor.
You're making a metaphor.
You're making
of what
a
was
metaphor?
happening.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
'Cause you
find
were
that
bored.
sort of glib?
I was big into metaphors early in my time because they interpret everything. They don't take anything literally. So when I made it rain frogs, that was another metaphor.
What was getting into you at that time?
Man, I meddled a lot. I was a helicopter parent. I wanted to make sure my kids got along.
You were giving us so many messages that we were.
Well,
trying
here's
to...
the
Sometimes
so
mixed ones,
it didn't
too.
work very well because I intervened. I'm not a big fan of slavery.
Like, are you a little fan of
No,
slavery?
oh
Okay.
God, no.
Just not at all.
I
Yeah.
just I even really have a hard time with pets. That's a weird dynamic.
You
for
know,
me.
I actually,
that's tricky, yeah.
that's
Sure,
something I
sure,
definitely
sure.
would want to
Yeah.
ask you about because I also feel weird about pets.
Yeah, I feel weird about pets. I like companions. I think
Yeah.
that's great. So when slavery started happening, I was like, oh my God, it's like my kids are fighting.
Yeah.
One of them is clearly bullying the other. I gotta do something.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Moses. He was a cool guy. You know, he's like, I gotta get these guys out of here. And I'm like, I agree. I think it's a great plan. So we started making all of these, signs of God, because the only thing that people listen to at that time is like, when an eclipse happened, which is just the moon and the sun. They were like, but that's God. And I'm like, that wasn't me. That's just the moon and the sun I made, for God's sake.
Man, I gotta say, when you had this, like, whatever spell that was, where you were, I
Yeah.
would say, acting out, when you were doing this, like, here's the problem with it, is that I see what you were doing at the time, but we
Sure.
still talk about that stuff.
Here's the thing. Is like, I can influence people about as much as you can influence people. Let's say you have a really good conversation with a friend who's going through some stuff. Whisper some great advice in their ear. They either take it or they don't. Yeah. I mean, how many of you have friends who you've helped with the same problem 1,000,000 times and they just won't take your advice? Now, you can't make them do something.
Yeah.
You've given them all the information.
Did you self-limit as far as, like, your ability to influence people?
No.
That's a thing that's inherent in you.
No, it's a thing that's inherent in the creation of existence. There's no way, nor is there a reason to control everything. You just do your part.
Uh-huh.
So here's the thing
And-
that I'll
and you're
tell
just
you.
doing
I'm
yours.
just doing my part.
Okay.
I make stuff, and things happen.
This is all fantastic stuff, and I want to segue into. We've got some listener questions.
Okay.
And I say listener, but we're just on our maiden voyage here. So
Sure.
this is like people that are interested in the pod and everything. People that are gonna, really interested in what you have to say already.
Yeah.
When they've heard about the idea for this thing. So I just want to
Yeah.
pose a couple questions here.
Fire away.
All right. What's your favorite TV show?
We're talking like all time of all TV shows.
It
at
only-
least to
It
current
only
history.
says
What's your favorite TV show?
what's your favorite TV show.
I will say I have many favorite TV shows. I love Black Mirror. I think it's so fascinating when people create a world where there is one thing that is off, and you get to see the massive ripple effects, because that's my life, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If I had something that was like story of my life,
It would be Black Mirror.
When somebody made Twitter, did I think that it was going to become a safe haven for racism and all kinds of? No, I just thought people were going to be like getting my coffee, having a good day,
So you just wake up every day and you're like, what butterfly effect today?
Yeah, absolutely.
that must be kind of like a wild echo of history.
It absolutely
Yeah.
is.
And extraordinarily frustrating.
I forget what you were saying too about when you started all this, but I kind of imagine looking at Twitter and things like it, like that is kind of a sort of in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
and then this free will stuff really started to muddy the waters, huh?
Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly, people talk about history repeating itself.
Yeah.
That's the patterns that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Every single thing follows a similar pattern.
Well,
You make something and then it goes and does all these things. This is why I was warning you guys about the robots.
yeah,
Seriously.
we should
We're
actually
in
not
too deep.
forget about that, though.
Yeah, I
We
think if
need-
there's one thing I'm going to take away, it's going to be watch out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I know you'll be destroyed by robots.
Yeah.
Because I put the same thing in you. There's no way you're going to not do it. Do you know what I mean?
I believe that.
Yeah.
I
You'll do
believe-
it.
yeah.
You'll do it just to see if you can.
If it's the
And-
Red
And
River thing,
right,
the Red River
yeah.
thing.
Did you do us just to see if you could?
Yeah, I did.
Is it turning out okay?
Do you like it?
Weird?
It's got ups and downs.
Yeah.
I've seen some good things. I've seen some terrible things.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
have.
So there's some
but
fucked
there
up
are
shit.
there are really. I love those videos where it's like there's a dog that's friends with a bird.
Love them.
Yeah,
Those
those
are-
are,
those
it's
are
nice
great.
to see
Yes,
crossing boundaries.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
crossovers.
If I'm proud of human beings for anything, it's that YouTube channel.
You love like different animals being friends.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Milo, what's your favorite TV show?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Ooh.
Hands down. The
Yeah.
original. I mean, the new one has yet to come out, to my knowledge. I think they're still doing it, but yeah, the original. It was a great.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a great journey.
Fun fact: vampires were real for a time.
Yes.
No kidding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. The formula didn't work very well. They didn't last long.
No, I guess it wouldn't.
No.
Is it screwed up? There's a part of me that wishes that they were like prevalent still.
I mean,
It
they
would certainly
were
make things more interesting.
They were
Yeah.
super cool, but man, they had a lot of mental hang-ups about eating other people.
Again, kind of feels like a you thing there, because you gave them like this or was that just like a fad? They're
Yeah,
like,
were
we
you-
have more or less eternal life and sharp teeth.
The way that you're talking about it, God, is that you sort of pre-released vampires as if you were like releasing a prototype that wasn't quite done. Like it was like a beta test.
well, here's the
that
thing:
you
I
let
had to
out
tell
onto
you,
the
they're all
market.
beta tests, man. I mean, that's what the theory of evolution is: Darwinism.
That makes me-
Everything is a beta test. I'm
that-
not sure.
That makes me feel better and worse about my own existence.
I can
actually.
totally see that.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
everything's a beta test.
Yeah. Hey, that's not a bad
You're testing the market.
like mission statement or inspirational poster.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it does put some things into perspective. Like give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Is what it implies, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Well, on that note, and I think that I would consider that a very positive and understanding note, guys. Or Milo and the entity we
Yeah.
refer to as God.
I'll take
It's
that.
like, who is it for me to call you guys? But I just want to thank you, God, and you, Milo. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
on,
you for having me.
Absolutely. The first episode of Why God Why. Again, my name is Zach, and we will be doing many more of these. This is way too much fun for me and my intellectual curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm both excited and terrified. for what
I
comes
will
next.
humbly admit this was less painful than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that sounds really humble.
So listen, subscribe to us on iTunes. And give us a comment there. It really helps us out. We're going to
Leave a review.
Leave a review, yeah. Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we'll be.
And you can follow us on the Twitter at WhyGodPodcast. You can leave your questions there or leave a comment. Let's just not start making it a therapy thing.
Well, it's entirely your prerogative.
Just questions for the show, please.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you so
And thanks
much.
for having me, and thanks, God, I guess, for literally everything.
You're welcome.
Thank you.